Once upon a time, in a land far away, there stood a castle. Well, it really wasn't that far away. It was just north of Sayville, at the corner of Smithtown Avenue and Lakeland Avenue. The castle was called the Chateau La Boheme. So historic was this castle that in 1976 it was reported in the Suffolk County News that the town of Islip was declaring it an historic monument. The story of the chateau starts back in Pilsen, Czechoslovakia in 1879. Anthony Boris Divis was born. Anthony's early life is unverifiable, but the stories include young Anthony attending university to eventually become a news reporter. The story continues he was part of some royal family, being a baron, a member of the Austro-Hungarian Cavalry during World War I. Again, I could find nothing to actually prove the stories, but it all helps with the mystique of the Chateau La Boheme. I can verify Baron Divis was born in 1879 in Pilsen, Czechoslovakia. He immigrated to the United States in 1922. He came to the country with $50 in his pocket, about $700 in today's money. Within 2 years, he married Lillian Irma Andrews. She was reported to be a widow of a rich New York City businessman. Actually, Lillian's story is quite sad, losing her husband early in the marriage, then she lost her firstborn son. After her husband's death, Lillian turned the family home into a boarding house. There was a fire. In the fire, it killed Lillian's two other children along with four other tenants at the boarding house. One victim was a George Kem. Mr. Kem was a successful playwright. He left a large estate, over $20,000, to Lillian. After Anthony's arrival in New York City, he met Lillian. By June 1924, Anthony and Lillian were married. They moved to Bohemia, New York, and purchased land and a small building, an old blacksmith building, at the corner of Smithtown Avenue and Lakeland Avenue. They eventually hired Winnie Benedict, a local builder, to build their chateau. The couple listed their profession as art dealers on the 1930 census. Eventually, the chateau added a restaurant and rooms to rent above the main rooms. Remember, this was also the beginning of Prohibition. The chateau was located 50 miles outside of New York City. It became a popular haunt for patrons needing a taste. They also reported in those days Randolph Fermi, a composer, and Rudolph Valentino patronized the establishment. Many area establishments were a part of an underground group of speakeasies. The law was clear. The feds eventually raided many of the local speakeasies. The chateau was raided twice in 1931 and 1932. They arrested the Baron on both occasions. Prohibition ended in 1933. The chateau over the next 25 years became a popular restaurant and hotel. Lillian continued operating her business, the selling of fine antiques. The hotel became a classic spot, hosting many community events. As the years went on, there were also rumors of murder, hauntings, and questionable goings-on. There was actually no proof I could find of any such events, yet the mystery helped the mystique of the old world Bohemian chateau. In 1952, Anthony and Lillian leased, then sold, the chateau to Gus Voss. Mr. Voss maintained the Chateau La Boheme till 1973. After 1973, the Chateau La Boheme became the Normandy Inn. The Normandy Inn ran successfully with multiple owners until 2004. Its decline began in those years. A Nick Capitello purchased the building. Nick's goal was to make the building into a designer furniture showroom. Unfortunately, this plan fell through, and the property went into default. An investment group purchased the building. The building sat empty till 2022, a victim to local vandals, weather, and disrepair. In 2022, a company known as Jersey Mike's, a sub-franchise, purchased the property. The building was torn down. So the chateau north of Sayville was no more. How was this supposed historic building allowed to deteriorate? Certainly a question we seem to keep asking ourselves.